We're out here at Honda today here in Longmont, Colorado. We are going to check out some of these Hondas. I'm going to look at the prices, and I'm going to see how they are affected by tariffs. How many are made in Mexico? Actually, Honda is one of the best brands. I think going to be pretty favorable to Honda as to where they get their parts. So we'll see if it's going to just be maybe steel and aluminum tariffs that are going to affect them. Let's run through some of these models, figure out where the content lies in the parts. So here we go. We got this 2025 CRV. This is a EX 1.5 coming in at $35,000. Not sure if we can see that there. So this says final assembly is Ontario, Canada. So actually tariffs are going to affect this a little bit. Ontario, Canada, the engine and transmission are both United States on this. Japanese parts are 20%, US Canadian parts 55%. So yeah, it looks like the CRV, at least this CRV specifically, that's definitely going to be affected a little bit by tariffs. So prices may be going up on the CRV for sure. Boy, this is a really, really cool blue color on this CRV. This is actually Planet Honda. $36,000 on this. $36,000 on that blue Sport. It is a hybrid. Actually, Honda's prices aren't really as bad as some, considering this is $37,000 on the sticker. 55% US Canadian, 20% Japanese, and built in Indiana. The engine and transmission are Japanese. So this one, aside from probably the, whatever metals, aluminum, steel, come from Canada, any Canadian parts, that's where it's going to get bumped up a little in price. So probably not as bad as some of the other models that I've seen. Not like the Toyota Tacoma or some of the other Fords that we were looking at. I'm assuming most of these CRVs are going to be the same. So this is $42,000, 55% US, 20% Japanese, and assembled in Indiana, Japan for the engine and transmission. So shouldn't be terrible on those. Definitely not like some of the other brands. Oh, there goes a Corvette, an old Corvette. It's definitely got a cam in that thing. Honda HRV here. This one's going to be, I think this one might be hit a little bit more by the tariffs than some of the other Hondas, for sure. So we're looking at $28,000 on the sticker on this. It's an LX. 30% United States and Canada, 40% Mexico, assembled in Mexico, US engine, Mexican transmission. So the HRV is definitely going to be affected a little bit more than some of the other Hondas, for sure. Let's head on over here to the Ridgeline. I do like the look of some of these new Hondas. It's definitely, they need to clean them, but they definitely have an appealing look on their SUVs. People have really started to enjoy the new Passport and all the other models. So this is a Trail Sport, and I believe the Ridgelines are one of the better ones. So this is, holy cow, $47,000 though. So this is 75% US Canadian, assembled in Alabama, engine and transmission in the United States. The Ridgeline is one of the better, one of the most American-made trucks on the market. It's a unibody, so people, if you want a body on frame, that's probably not going to be what you're looking for, but people love the Ridgeline. I've had plenty of friends with the older Ridgeline, and they've had a really good luck with them. They're a little pricey. I guess if you're in the market for a slightly larger bed, a little bit bigger, this seems than the Ford Maverick, but it's not as deep, and I'm not sure on the payload numbers. I don't want to start quoting things that I haven't looked up. Here's the Odyssey. So $44,000 on this Odyssey. 70% US Canadian, assembled in Alabama, and United States for both the engine and transmission on the Odyssey. Not bad for Honda. Let's take a look at the little Civics. Kind of a neat color on this one. This is the hybrid Sport Blue Lagoon color. $30,000 on this Civic. So we're looking at 55% US Canadian, assembled in Ontario, so that's going to affect it in Canada. Japanese engine and transmission on the Civic. So definitely going to see a little bit of a bump probably in the tariffs on that one. I'm guessing the same thing goes for this gorgeous pearl white. I'd be getting the pearl white and black because here in Colorado we have lots of dust, and pearl white tends to be my favorite color. This is the 2-liter, 29,000, and 50% US Canadian, 20% Japanese, assembled in Indiana, United States engine, Mexican transmission on this one. So I find it interesting, and you might find it interesting too, that even between, you know, just two different models, whether it's a hybrid, non-hybrid, whatever, you're going to see a completely different part content makeup. So you're going to see prices fluctuate as these tariffs come in, because it varies even between just a specific model like the Silverados and the Sierras. You see the engines being made in completely different locations, completely different assembly locations. So it's definitely getting interesting in the car market for sure. You know, everybody, I was hoping that prices come down, and I'm actually a little concerned that prices might go up with these tariffs. If the stock market stays where it's at and even goes a little higher, I don't think prices are coming down. I thought they were, but it's really dependent on the stock market, and that's the only thing I think that's gonna change behavior in the people that are buying really high-end cars. So here we are with this one, 55% US Canadian parts, Japanese parts 20%, assembled in Canada, US for the engine and transmission. That's 35,000 on that CRV. So they do vary quite a bit. Let's head over to the Pilot. Actually, no, let's go to the Passport, because I really dig the Passport. I have a friend that's looking at one of these Passports. So this is, boy, that is a really slick looking Passport. Look at that thing. It looks tough. I actually am looking at this now thinking maybe I should have looked at this instead of the Atlas. That looks really cool, but I don't know. It's definitely not as large. Not as good for our family. Holy smokes, 54,000. Yeah, I wouldn't have been getting that kind of the same deal. US Canadian parts on this Passport, 65% US Canadian, assembled in Alabama, US for both the engine and transmission. So this sweet looking Passport is the Canadian part is what's gonna hit that, which isn't too bad. A lot of it's United States. So I think overall Honda is probably set up so far, compared to Ford and other brands that I see, they are set up really pretty solid for these tariffs. I don't think they're going to get a huge impact on them, not like other brands. I know Volkswagen's going to get hammered by them. So this is 43,000 on this Pilot, and we are looking at 70% US Canadian, assembled in Alabama, US for the engine and transmission. So pretty darn good on the Pilot as well. This is all most of the used side, and looks like they have quite a few. They got a lot of CRVs over there. This is the most stock I've actually seen on this Honda lot in a while, which is funny because most of it is just staged up here. It's always been a small dealer. Here's the Prologue, but I don't know if it has Fowler plates on it, but I'm not sure if someone was test driving it and they just left it here. It is Sunday over the weekend, so this is 56,000 for this Prologue. 36% US Canadian, it's Korean 15%, Mexico 30%, assembled in Mexico, the motor's from Korea, and the transmission is from China. So the Prologue is the worst for Honda right now as far as tariffs are concerned. That's definitely going to get hit the most. So let me know what you think is going to happen with these tariffs. I think Honda's set up, Honda and Toyota, other than the Tacoma and maybe the RAV4 and spottiness in Honda, I think they are set up to really handle these tariffs well. You know, this is kind of the world we live in. If the stock market stays up, these cars are going to keep moving. But I know everybody's frustrated with prices, but that's just the world we live in, folks. There's plenty of people right now with money to buy new cars. That may change if the stock market dumps. Changes psychological behavior for sure. Here's the Civic Hybrid. Last one, 29,000, 55% United States, assembled in Canada, Japan for engine and transmission. All right, that's going to wrap it up for Honda. Thanks for watching. Till next time.